this is Chris. Today I'm going to make another one of these little alphabet tags. And I got this idea when I was in the office supply store looking for different kinds of things to make into embellishments. And I saw this package of stencils. And this was, I think, in Office Depot. These are the 3-inch stencils. I also ended up getting some, well, these I had for a while. These are the 1-inch stencils. These are by Duro. These, Heiko is the name of them. And so I started playing with it and I came up with this little stencil tag. So I thought we would make another one. I'm going to, this time, this is what they look like out of the package. I'm going to do one, I think, with my first initial. So that would be a C. So I just punch out the centers and save these. You can use them for something, right? And so what I'm going to do is find a piece of cardboard to back it. I have here in front of me my little scrap file. This is one of those letter holders that you find in office supply. It's elevated, it graduates up, and so I have small scraps, medium scraps, and these are scraps that have some sort of decoration on them. So I have an old piece of old file folder, and I'm going to mark this to cut. With my little cutter here. These file folders I found at an industrial yard sale many years ago, and I think I've just about used them up. I've used them in my own filing systems. I've used them for crafts. They had the old information from their clients on them. I wish I could find another bunch of those. So I'm going to use my tag here to mark off. So another way you can do it is to just cut it and then flip it to get the same angle. So there's my tag. I'll cut this one to fit. And then I want to put something that'll show through here. I see on the sample I have, I think it's a Tim Holtz paper that has like invoices and things reproduced on it. But let's find something a little bit different. How about Edith Holden? I think I'll put Edith Holden on here because when I was about 37, I had a chance to go to London, and when I was at a bookstore in London I found this book. I'm sure you're guessing what I'm going to say. And it was by this woman who did beautiful nature paintings, and at that time I was studying watercolor, and that gave me the idea to keep watercolor journals, and so that was Edith Holden. This is not my original book. This is one I bought off of probably Amazon, an Amazon reseller. But I love my original book. I'll never sell it or take it apart. It's always been my inspiration to do watercolor illustrations. So we'll save those little scraps. These, I have another bin over here where I keep my long cutoffs in this little jar that I actually made that in college, that little jar. It's come in handy. Take a little ink. This is some Hampton Art ink. I got it free at Joann's when I bought a couple of stamps. So I'm kind of trying it out. And just an old makeup brush from the drugstore. To cover the back, and on this one I have another piece of Tim Holtz paper, and I'll see what kind of scraps I have in here. Here's a piece of book page from a book about journaling. The fun part where we can decorate it. So we want to punch a hole in it. This could be a little thick for punching, but we'll see. There it goes. So we've got our little hole. Now on this one I have some stamps, like postage type stamps. I have a honeycomb, I have some lettering on there. On the other side I have a stamp on top of a postage stamp, some more honeycomb and lettering, so I'll do those. And it's got these at Tuesday Morning. It has 3 different fonts on it. It has a scripty one that I like. And I always have to figure out which way is right side up. So here we have a stamp here and a stamp here. So I get out my stamp book. Okay, here's my postage stamp album. This was my grandmother's album, and it's upside down. This was my grandmother's album, and she had a lot of relatives in England, Canada, and Australia, and she collected a lot of stamps. New South Wales. She had quite a few really old ones too. And then when I was a teenager, I saw her stamp book, and I saw this at the post office, and so I bought one for myself. So let's see. These belong in here. What would be pretty? Since this is my first initial, we'll choose something that relates to me. I like to paint flowers. I like England. So on this one we have an ostrich. Austria and England. Oh, look at the rose. I think I'll save that for my rose journal that I'm working on. This is pretty. I like the more muted colors of that one. I think I'll take that one. And I like this China one with the airmail on it. I'll use those. Okay, we have that. And then we want a little bit of this Chinese paper, and that comes from one of these books. I have several of these. A friend of the family published these back in the 60s, and he sent us a bunch of them. So since I don't know what it says, but I know it's family friendly because it was part of his business in translating Chinese into English for business people. So the young man who started this business was part of a group where a charitable group where American families were matched with bright young boys who needed help going through school. And my grandparents decided to join, and they chose this young man in Taiwan, and they helped support him through school, and he ended up starting his own business, translating service, and was very successful at it. Now let's see. Here's another stamp book I made on the style of this one that I purchased years and years ago. I made one just out of scrap paper. And in here I have some pieces of envelope. So I think I want some of this. I like this touch of color on there. And that reminds me of the letters our family used to get in the mail from our friends and relatives in different parts of the world. Back when people used to write letters. National Nature Week. Well, that's appropriate because I love nature. And I have no idea what this character means, but I'm going to stick it in there. Let's see. I think I'll put it, I'm going to just stick it right there. Whoops, I believe that's upside down. Now a little bit of nature. So put these out of my way. My ephemera book based on the stamp books. I've seen other people make these, and I thought, well, yeah, that's like my stamp book. I can make one of those too. More stamps. My grandmother collected a lot of stamps. So I think I want a small butterfly. I like something with a little color. Pretty exotic stamps that my grandmother had collected. Okay, now for the other side we have the other stamp, and we have some cancellation marks. This has cancellation marks on it, so I think I'll put a cancellation mark up there. So this one, I don't remember where I got this one. It's either Michael's or Joanne's, or Tuesday Morning. I don't go to Hobby Lobby very often. It's an hour away, unless I'm picking my brother up at the airport or something. Put that on there. And I think I'll put one up here. I like it. I like it. Okay, we're almost done. I think I want to give the edges a little more distressing. Added all those pieces of paper. Okay, now some string. I got this in a thrift haul. It's like a pearlized cotton, I think, crochet. I mean, that'll last me forever. So maybe I'll double it up because it's a little bit thin. This would probably tea dye well. I should try tea dyeing some of it, keep it in my stash. So, there. So that was a fun little embellishment to make. I think I'm going to have to go through here and add a little more glue. Right there. Another thing you could do is you could use the punch outs as embellishments. You could stick them in all kinds of different configurations to make designs, glue them down, and then paint them, gesso over them. Use them as collage elements. You could layer them. Once they're glued down and gessoed, then you could paint them. So there's all different things you could do with the little leftover pieces. And that's what we're about, right? We are scrap users. Make all kinds of things with these. That's silly. I hope you enjoyed this little embellishment project. Go out to your office supply store and see what else you can find to make something interesting with, something unexpected. And have a great day crafting. Bye-bye.